Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 NGC review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a game that is truly beautiful. It's Viewtiful Joe 1. If you've never played it before, it's basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's what gravitated me towards the game because I always loved the genre, and when I got it, when it pretty much first came out, I absolutely adored it. I even played it co-op, even though there isn't any co-op, because me and my mate just sat there and took turns, because we always used to love playing Streets of Rage co-op. So it's a shame that there wasn't ever any co-op in the game. It is just a single player affair. Anyway, at the start you can go into new game. Obviously once you've saved you can go into load game, and you can also go into config. There's only 3 config types. You can't fully customise. The controls, I'll be honest, are a little bit awkward. There's some things I'd like to jiggle around, but you get used to them. And it definitely doesn't hinder you as much as a lot of other games. When you go into a new game, you get basically a choice of difficulty, but once you've beat the game and unlocked everything, you get a choice of character. I'll be showing Alistair off because I've already got a save file with him on. The other two I don't, and as you can't skip the cutscenes, it would take too long to set up, unfortunately. Once you choose your character, then you can get a choice of different difficulty levels, of which there's a couple to unlock. There's 4 overall: kids, adult, V-rated, and something like ultra V-rated. Anyway, I'm just going to load an early file up with Joe, although so that I could actually avoid spoilers but still show off some of the cooler moves. The good old cheat device has gone in and it gives me infinite points, so I've been able to buy every single upgrade even though I'm only on level 2. Right then, just as I say, I've been able to buy every power-up. By going into the power-up menu, I can show you the type of things you can buy though. You can buy burgers for health, you can buy shocking pink and boomerangs. They're basically bombs and boomerangs. You can buy different moves, so a slide, air kick, a red hot kick. You can upgrade your max speed, so you can, at level 3, have 6 Joes coming out and flying about, which is really cool. You can buy more lives as well. And even though you can buy lives and you can buy health, that doesn't make the game easy at all. The game is pretty brutal with the difficulty, especially obviously on the harder V ratings, and it's just an absolutely fantastic game because of it. Basically, you have to get better to be able to buy lives and to be able to get hearts. And apologies about stopping there, but I've just noticed the camera zoomed in a little bit too much, so there we go. Basically though, for those who've never played it before, as I say, it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up with a difference. You get powers. The ability to slow time down, which as you can see is creating a larger drop, which is then going to open up the door, and I then have to race there, but I can't get there on my own speed. I have to use super max speed. So you can speed yourself up, as you can see, very quickly like that. And you get a rating at the end of every segment. And as you can see, that was crappy, mainly because I stood around talking for about 10 minutes and I got the crap kicked out of us just trying to rush through it. But the other power you can do, as well as slowing down and speeding up, you can zoom in, and when you zoomed in it does change a couple things up, and you've basically got to use your powers to not only kick the crap out of the enemies, you've got to use them to be able to solve the puzzles to advance. It's an amazing game. If you've never played it before, I strongly urge you try and buy it. One of the things that I can mention is, you probably have noticed already, the blue bar at the top, because you've got your heart meter, and if I get hit you'll see us lose a heart. And some attacks can be absolutely brutal on the higher difficulties, and if you're playing as different characters, they've not all got the same defense or offense or anything like that, and some attacks can outright kill you in one hit. But anyway, you go around, you basically learn your combos, you get better rating, you get more points, you're able to buy more power-ups, and all of a sudden you can get better at the game. And that's what I mean by, just because you can buy lives doesn't mean it's an easy game. It forces you to get better to be able to buy lives. There's boss battles pretty much all over the place. You're always going to be fighting some sort of boss, whether it be a proper end of stage or end of episode boss, or just a little end of section boss. When you run out of the blue power, you might have noticed already, turn into regular Joe, and all of the characters are like that. Once they run out, they turn into regular, and then you get that little film grain, which I'll be honest does my head in. The only difference is really with Alistair, the unlockable character I'm going to show off, he's always losing his power, so you get the ability to turn into normal, so you've got to use your power wisely, but I'll go into that a little bit more once I'm playing as him. The only other thing I can mention about the blue bar is quite simply you can collect film reels which actually expand it, and you can also do really sweet combos to get temporary extra blue bar in the form of green bar, which I've already had once. You'd have to rewind the video in order to see it off a little bit. I've mentioned pretty much all I can mention though now, so I'm going to just cut into Alistair. So here I am as Alistair. Unfortunately I'm on the same level, but I did say, to be fair, I didn't really want to be showing off any spoilers or anything, and this is what I mean by he is constantly losing his VFX ability. So I can hit Z and all of a sudden turn into regular, but in regular I'm more susceptible to attacks. However, the rate that your power drains is always going to be the same, so it does give you a bit of an advantage playing as him if you're smart and strategic, because effectively you're getting a bit more VFX power than Joe. He's also got the ability to like float, as you can see. Sylvia, when you play as her, she's basically twice as fast but twice as weak. When you play as Captain Blue, I believe he's got a much bigger VFX bar. I rarely play him, if I'm honest. I wasn't too keen. I know lots of people say he's the best, but maybe the reason I'm not too keen is because he does make the game a bit easier because he's got the bigger VFX, and he can also kind of float like this. It's just one of those though with personal preference once you unlock them, who you want to play it as when you replay the game, because being a beat 'em up style, it is the sort of game that you can replay over and over again. It's just not exactly the sort of game that I can particularly concentrate on and show anything spectacular off while I'm talking, because you really do need to have your wits about you. There's a dodging mechanic on the game that's absolutely fantastic. Basically it tells you whether he's going to attack high or low, and you've got to get out the way, and then you can also upgrade that so that after you dodge you can do the zoom in function, and by doing the zoom in function it can cause a devastating attack. You can slow down time on your bombs, and that will make things explode and like make the explosion of the bombs bigger. It's just all a strategy game really, as much as it is a beat 'em up, because you've got to use everything wisely and you've got to solve puzzles while you're doing it. It's a fantastically brilliant and unique game that I absolutely adored when it came out. I think I like it even more now because they just don't get made anymore. Especially the fact that the company who made them was disbanded by Capcom, so I doubt we'll ever see a true Viewtiful Joe 3. We'll just have to live with Viewtiful Joe 1, 2 and Double Trouble on the DS, and also that Red Hot Rumble, which was a kind of Smash Bros game, only relatively graphically it was cell shaded, and it's still, because it's cell shaded, it still looks absolutely fantastic today. Loads of people used to really hate cell shading and have a go at it. I've personally always been a fan of the art style because I think it looks fantastic. It's like you are playing a comic. Musically, it sounds great, so while I try and do much better on this version of Captain Blue when I'm Alistair rather than how badly I was doing as Joe, I'm going to shut up for a little bit and let you listen to some music. Well, to be fair, because of a couple of interruptions, unfortunately I couldn't actually show off the blue fight, so instead there's your little bit of music. There's not really much else I can say about the game though, just a couple of things I forgot to say earlier. That gameplay wise, I believe there's 7 episodes. There's what people class as 7 episodes. I think it's like 14 chapter title things, but officially I think it's considered to have 7. But just because that sounds small, it is actually a huge game, so I think that's probably the easiest way of describing the size of it, by saying it is actually a pretty hefty game, and because of the difficulty you're going to be replaying things over and over. One of the nice things about the power-up system, you get the choice to do it before a level and after you save as well, so probably the best tip I can give you is save the game, play the level, see what you need for that level, and then go back and upgrade. And obviously if you beat the level without upgrading, you'll have more V points to possibly buy a better upgrade. Couple other things I can mention about the different characters. The stories do change a little bit. The opening cutscenes are quite funny. Alistair's is that he wants to fight the main character. Captain Blue's is he wants to relive his glory days, and Sylvia, I daren't say anything because it'll spoil what I think is probably the funniest joke in the entire game. I cried laughing with her cutscene the first time I saw it. So there's a couple of Easter eggs in there as well to find. There's some If you hold a bomb, for example, on your foot for a little bit on the air, or sorry, on the ground or in the air, you get a little Easter egg too. But I'm not going to say what. It's something that I think you'll like to discover on your own. So that really is all I can say about the game. But just to reiterate, it's a fantastic title, well worth checking out if you've never got around to doing so. It's just great, it really is. It's one of my all-time favourite beat-em-ups slash puzzle game slash time travel-y style game slash whatever the hell genre it is supposed to be. So there we go then. That's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.